welcome. I'm William Keane, a stand-up coach in New York City for the past 10 years, and these are all the tips and tricks that people pay me to teach them, but I'd rather give it to y'all for free. So, if you're interested in stand-up, you can learn on your own time. Tonight, today, in this video, we're talking about edgelord jokes. Jokes that are a little bit too edgy, pushing the envelopes a little bit too much, too far, too soon. A lot of people really like these jokes, especially because they tend to work better in open mics with a pessimistic type crowd, with a burn the world down type mentality on your average person that's there. But in real shows, they can hurt us. And I'm going to talk about those dynamics and why right at the beginning of this stream. So, without further ado, let's continue. If you like this, if you like this type of content, give us a like, comment, and subscribe. Oh, please, 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 please. It would help. No, I won't beg anymore except for at the end. Boom. So what are we talking about here? What are we talking about when a comedian does a teeny joke that's about a serious subject matter? For example, if, there's jokes like, oh, the Holocaust, but what did it all cost? It's a stupid word pun on, it's sort of like global terrible catastrophe, right? Okay, so we do a teeny joke on a big serious matter. Well, what happens? What happens with our dynamic with the crowd? Of course, you have a huge tension. People are like, Holocaust? The Holocaust? Did you hear him say that? Did I hear him say that? Is that correct? And it's a teeny little joke? I don't know. I don't know if I like this. I don't know if I like the fact that there's a huge joke for a little teeny bitty payoff, and it causes more tension than it resolves. And so that huge tension comes for a lot of reasons. The average person maybe doesn't want to hear about that subject matter. They are worried maybe about what the other people are thinking. They start to question the comedian. What is their worldview that of the infinite universe, they chose to speak about this serious subject matter? So there's lots of things that are happening in this dynamic that potentially hurt us. Okay. So they can get like, oh, we don't trust the comedian anymore. We don't know if we like this material anymore. Well, we certainly might not want it to continue. So many sour things that can happen. Okay. Now, there is an exception to this, right? There is that this is an open-hearted audience who tends to be more optimistic and like contributing to society. But there are other people that exist, the so-called edgelords, and they like these jokes that are big, teeny little joke on a big, serious subject matter, like a school shooting. when my crush said no, I sure hope there is one. It's like, I don't really believe that you feel that, but nothing should be precious, so let's sort of like stomp on everyone else's precious babies because they have a different worldview in some ways. Okay. In this case, the tension, there is no real tension. The Holocaust, but how much did it Holocaust? They're like, oh yeah, we can make fun of anything. Okay, silly word joke, just as if it was a silly word joke about two tomatoes and they squash the sun tomato and go catch up. They are equal. I just shot the examples that I'm using today is my normal like wacka Holocaust, but how much did it Holocaust? I'm sure as we get into the writing of people's jokes tonight, there will be so many examples that I can retroactively edit right here, because people love to do edgelord jokes, and and they're like, oh, but I'm going to be the next Jesselnick, and it's like, there are exceptions to when we can do that, which I will talk about. People of the edgelord mindset, some people are like, oh, well, this serious subject matter, I don't care. It doesn't cause tension to me that we're talking about cancer, or we're talking about race or politics, or the most recent geopolitical problem. I don't care. I just want jokes. The payoff is still small in this case. We're still having little small payoffs. That's important when we talk about this. For edgelord type people, there is a secondary payoff to these big serious things, teeny joke type dynamics. And what is happening is, so you have this the edgelord who's like, I don't care about the serious thing. I don't care about cancer and death. I don't care about that. Let's talk about it all. Let's do whatever silly joke we want. On whatever religion, I don't care. Let's do it. Dead babies? Hope, yes, please. And, theoretically, if all things are the same, maybe we should be able to talk about everything, but people have different life experiences. They're dealing with certain things currently right now. And then if they pay to escape the world, they maybe don't want their biggest tension flaunted in front of them. But for the edgelords, okay, they don't care about the tension. And then they see the rest of the audience having this tension. All of a sudden, cancer is mentioned and be like, oh, we shouldn't talk about cancer. And the other's like, why? Why? There's no tension here. And they see the other people having the tension, and it causes a tension in them. Like, why can't we just talk? Why can't we talk about these things? I hate that we can't talk about these things. I hate that we can't do a joke where Holocaust. Well, how much did it Holocaust? Oh, I want to be able to do silly, stupid jokes like that about the most serious subject matters. Okay. But it causes a tension that other people don't share necessarily their worldview in that matter. As they see the small tension is to how serious the joke subject matter is. The big tension is more them seeing how society maybe doesn't share their opinions. Okay. So that secondary payoff for the edgelords is when you do the teeny joke on the serious subject matter, that disrespect is cathartic to them. They're like, yes, the comedian also doesn't think it's a big tension. Oh, I can feel validated in my worldview. Yes, other people think like me. So they do get that secondary payoff, which is more than the actual silly, stupid little joke. So there are, there's dynamics to play with here. There's things, if we're really trying to always optimize our laughs in every room, it's something to think about. And that's that catharsis, that they don't feel so lonely and they don't feel so ostracized for an opinion that they have that might not be the most widespread. Okay. Now here's the problem with that. A lot of comedians, their most frequent touch point to comedy is an open mic. Open mics are generally a lot of narcissistic, pessimistic comedians who maybe feel disenfranchised by society, so they have a darker worldview, and they are for this material, and they are in high sort of like frequency in that audience. Most of an open mic will be these types of people. But when you get to a real show, it's a paying audience that are out of town. Oh, the parents visited New York. They want to see a show. Oh, I have a fun date. Let's do it. Oh man, it's been Thanksgiving and our grandma's going through some medical stuff. Well, let's go to a comedy show to forget it. And so now, in the big scheme of a broader audience, those edgelords get lost in the mix, and they are no longer the majority feeling in the room. So that's one of the reasons why it is hard to play for the edgelords, hard to do material that is specifically geared towards this dynamic. Because one, they will be a smaller portion of your average paid comedy show, and additionally, not all edgelords are built the same. They're not. Some people might be fine with racist jokes. They might be fine with misogynistic jokes. But all of a sudden, my dad's going through cancer right now. It's really serious, and like he has to have all these surgeries. He's in pain. It's like terrible. I don't want to hear about that. Any other jokes, sure, but just this one thing I don't want to talk about. Okay. Then your next edgelord's like, well, I'm fine with cancer jokes. No one I know has cancer. I'm fine with racist jokes too, but misogyny, no. I got passed over for a promotion at work, because I'm a woman, and it's really stinging right now. So any other jokes, sure, but just this one thing that I don't want you to talk about. And then the final, edgelord in this room might be like, okay, misogyny's fine. I'm a man. What do I got to worry about? Oh, cancer? No one I know has cancer. But hey, don't talk about racism. One of my friends, he got racially profiled. Now he's in jail for years and years and years. It's destroying his life. It's just this one thing. It's just this one thing I don't want you to talk about. So even the edgelords might have, it's not universal that people are like, oh, we can talk about anything all the time. Even the people that are in for dark comedy might not be in it for all of the subject matters. And so that's another danger with sort of trying to lean into this dynamic. Okay. So they're not even, one, they're a smaller portion of the room except in open mics, and two, even they might not agree on what is acceptable and what's not acceptable. We all have our different palates. For your average audience, you have huge tension. Oh, the serious subject matter, dead babies. Oh, the most recent school shooting. Oh, let's make a teeny cutesy joke about systemic racism or the deaths that are happening in Palestine right now. Look, Another exception, which I'll talk about right here, you can talk about any serious subject matter, and the audience will usually let you go further if you're actually treating it with the seriousness, the somberness it deserves. So, to the most extreme reasons, for the most extreme versions, this is mostly geared at teeny, cutesy jokes to big, serious subject matters, not actually trying to talk about it. But these dynamics are still into play regardless of the situation. Okay. So why, William? Why does the average audience member, why might they have this tension in their mind for the serious jokes? Why might not they be in it? So a little bit, it is because they don't want to talk about it. They don't want to think about it. You know, a lot of times when something very big and political happens all week, then maybe their Reddit is flooded with it. Their Instagram algo is flooded with it. Maybe that, you know, like tariffs and stuff, it affected them at work and people getting fired for it. So it's like this tariffs. They don't want to go to a comedy show and hear like, hey, tariffs. They might be done hearing about it. Now, conversely, some other people might want catharsis about the tariff topic, but it's hard to judge that. It's slightly risky. It's putting a roll in the dice in your stand-up set. Another reason people might not like these edgelord serious jokes with teeny jokes to big serious things is because other people are watching. Right? So by themselves, they might be an edgelord. Like, yeah, do racist jokes, do misogynistic jokes. Yeah, do it. I love it. My uncle by marriage is here, and he's a different race than me. And my girlfriend's here. Yeah, no, I don't like those jokes anymore. No, I don't want to be seen laughing at those jokes in front of people that might not think the same way. There's other people here. So group mentality can also make people more nervous, even for a joke they would normally laugh at. They can go, I gotta make sure it's okay in this room. And if everyone's going, I gotta make sure if it's okay in this room, then the joke doesn't get a laugh, and then everyone sort of says, okay, no one thinks this is funny. And so it can't get critical mass if the percentage of your audience doesn't have some early adopters to the cringe material, to the edgy material. So it could be that everyone's enjoying it, but silently because they don't want to be figured out. And hey, how that hurts you is all you get is a silent room. It's hard to diagnose in the moment. Why? Because you don't get to do a survey of all the audience members right there. You can stop the show and ask, but that's even dangerous if they are like, no, we don't like the material, and you've walked face first into it. So it could be they don't want to talk about it. It could be that they are afraid of the group mentality around them, and that's why. So some of the tension is from the I don't want to talk about it, the red. The purple is from like the group mentality. But I think the most, at least personally, I think most of the tension comes from the trust in the comedian that gets lost in these types of jokes. And because what happens is if the audience is like, okay, we generally like family, and we generally like friends, and we hate death. Those are our worldviews. Usually people want a comedian, their favorite comedian, shares the same worldview as them. So they go, yes, that is how the world works. Oh, this person is speaking sense. Oh my goodness. Yes, this is catharsis to listen to my own opinions parroted back at me. Yes. Okay, and then another comedian can come along and say the opposite, even if they have perfect comedy technique, even if they do everything that I espouse about physical information, additional punchlines, having smooth transitions, setting things up with structures and callback, even to do all the technical elements. If you're saying things that are contrary to someone's worldview, they're going to go, no, that's calling attention. I don't like this. Just because that's how we work. That's how we work. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. We all want our own catharsis. We all want to feel not lonely in this universe and want to feel like we're part of an in-group. Okay. So once a comedian has done something, if right now I said I always love to poop in my pants and then eat it, if you, if you felt communion with me, if you felt I was one of your own, now all of a sudden you're gonna be like, ugh. I don't know about that. I don't know about him anymore. It's one of the reasons why a lot of main characters in video games don't take a lot of extreme stances, so that people can use them as their self-insert, and then it's the characters around them that are wild and sort of have more nuance, so that if people are like, I don't like that, okay, at least it's a side character. I don't have to do the full journey every second with this person. 1 second, I'm gonna take a second to make sure I check all the chats. Okay. Here we go. Oh boy. Yeah. Sorry. First of all, Cervic. lifespan for women is higher than men, so I'm considering transitioning. It's one of those jokes where like, yeah, it's a fact, but it also talks about, the trans issue, which some people might feel a certain way. They might feel a certain way about you that you brought that up instead of anything else in the world. Why does the average audience have this tension? Because they need to release the valve, like bust a nuts with blue balls. Oh, we're trying to do an edgelord joke. Yeah, one of the things with that joke, Nate. First of all, hey, welcome to the stream. One of the reasons that might be like too big of a seriousness for too little of a joke is because not everyone wants to hear about us jacking off. So if we're like, hey, hey audience members, I know why you have this tension. It seems like I'm being real with you. You can trust me as a narrator. I'm busting nuts. And then the audience might be like, oh, what? No, I didn't want to hear about that from you. Why did you suddenly go to that extreme? You think that's funny? Ooh, and then all of a sudden, boom, they have all these tensions in their mind because they feel like we no longer share, their rational worldview. Don't do racist stuff. Learn from me. Mikey Richards, honestly, great joke. Great joke. Yes. Okay. Or aren't you charming enough to pull them off? So. Oh yeah. I mean, look, Sir Vic. There is a spectrum of. I'm going to talk about that later. There is a degree of leniency that the audience gives us, depending on how much they like us, depending on how much we can push through things. If we're doing things, if we're doing something that seems like it's naughty, but we're doing it like, oh, clearly I'm playing with this, I'm being sarcastic, I don't really believe this thing, audience might give us more leeway. They're like, I'm on the soapbox and I'm trying to proselytize you guys to this very, we should all be owning guns right now in our pockets, everyone, it'd be the safe, like, oh no, we should all have guns all the time. One of those ways the audience might feel that tension more viscerally than the other. So there are ways to try to get away with more with charm. 100%. Oh, and by the way, when I talk about comedy, Sir Vic, it's not just my experience. I've been teaching people for 10 years. So these are hundreds of data points with people of all sorts of different backgrounds than me, different voices, different performing abilities, doing it in different cultural realities. So when I speak to this, it is not just whether my charm is good enough to do this. It's whether the subsection of all the people I've helped, currently 30 states and over 14 countries, espouse these dynamics. So, boom! So, once the audience sees that, we maybe are wildly different from them, or we've breached what is their precious thing to talk about, they go, no, now do I want to listen to the rest of the show? Do I want to be seen laughing for this person that I don't agree with? Or maybe they agree with us, but similarly, there's too much of the rest of the audience doesn't, and they go, well, maybe I'd like to talk to this person one-on-one, but I don't want to seem like they're my favorite comedian in front of, my father-in-law I'm trying to impress, the girl that I just proposed to. Oh, this could be dangerous, and so they could change their view. Okay, so the exceptions to the rule, and I am reticent to give this lesson because everyone I talk to who needs to hear this lesson, I give the exceptions, and they're like, "Well, that's my situation. Well, that's my situation. Oh, I'm the exception. I'm the exception." So. This is with a huge grain of salt, and if your immediate reaction is to go, yeah, I'm the exception, then you need to listen to this more than anyone else. So, your average audience probably has people, majority, that are open-hearted. However, all of these dynamics change when you have a majority edgelord audience. If you're doing the 1 a.m. Uncle Drew's screw yourself show. Okay, well then there's a little bit of a branding that we might be going on some edgelord type topics. It might be an expectation that it's not as wholesome as like a 6 p.m. the family friendly comedy hour with Barney the dinosaur, with a puppet as the main host. It's Crank Yankers. The puppets are cranking. The puppets are yanking. If you, like a Jesselnick, or the show has a very specific branding that you can expect the audience to know what they're coming in for, then it is sort of on the audience instead of on the comedian. But that doesn't. 95% of shows are not this. 98% of comedians are not this. If you say, well, I want to be that comedian, If the audience is paying for tickets because of you, if you are the headliner that is putting butts in seats, then this applies to you. If you're just one of the comedians on the lineup, no, 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 no. You might have your pocket of fans in the greater audience, but then it goes back to the old dynamic. But I do want to recognize there are exceptions. A lot of times roast battles tend to be more permissive of all of this stuff because of the palette of what a roast battle is. So you don't have to worry about this as much, or you can at least fight against this dynamic in a different way. And if the audience is, the good thing about if the audience is mostly more people that are okay with edgy jokes, it might make the person who isn't okay with them like, what? Everyone's laughing at this? What? Oh, okay, yeah, I'll ride this roller coaster for a second. I know when I leave this place, oh boy, I'm gonna be like that show when everyone was laughing at turds all the time. But right now, okay, I'll groupthink into this. But you need critical mass. You need majority. That's something to think about. Okay. So, another thing to think about with regards to this is, okay, let's say you want to do some edgy material. You can also do it in a intelligent way to fight around these dynamics. For example, if this is the opinion of your audience, these are the things they like, and they don't like death. Okay, well, let's say you start like, hey, family's good. And they go, okay, yeah, family's good. I agree with that. Okay, friends and music are good. Oh, yes, I like friends and music are good too. Oh, movies, food, and pets are good. Oh, yes, movies, food, and pets are, oh, man, this comedian really gets me. Oh, man, we're going so great together. Yes, this comedian, yes. And you go, and death is amazing. They might be like, oh, what? No, well, no, I don't agree with that one. That one, I see that. I don't agree with that. Oh, but we have such a big list of things in common. We've been vibing so much. Okay, maybe this is a small disagreement. Maybe okay, hey, I'm like a lot of other people, but never exactly like. So I'll give you a little bit more leeway, comedian, with regard to this, and we'll shuffle this aside. So if I wanted to do some edgy material, I can hide it in some more people-pleasing material for a general audience, for the earlier show. So I still get to do the material I want. But I've done it more intelligently, so I don't ram my head first into this dynamic. Where I do a whole hour-long set about how death is great, and then these audience members are like, no, we never liked him from the beginning. Okay. Because the important thing I want to espouse is, let's say we have some opinions that are maybe not the most universal. I'm not saying you should change your opinions. I'm not saying, hey, do material that you don't inherently believe in. Just so that you can sell out. You should stay true to your artistic feeling. I mean, you really should. You really should. Well, depending. If you don't agree with me, especially when it comes to some big geopolitical stuff, well, then I want the world to change in my way. So then shut the fudge up and don't amplify your opinions that are different than mine. But I'm really speaking of what art should be as far as expressing ourselves. Hey, I'm not saying change all your worldviews just to fit what you think the cultural reality of your audience is. But let's say these are your opinions. I hate family. I hate friends. I hate movies, and I love death. Kind of controversial things. I can sub-select them, select the things that are more common, and then throw just one of those maybe things people are going to disagree with in my set. So I still get to talk about what I want, but I've selected more carefully. A lot of comedians are like, especially the ones that want to be like Jesselneck copies, are like, no, I do all Edgelord all the time, nothing but Edgelord, and I come straight out of the gate. Doesn't matter if I'm in a 5 p.m. show and there's kids in the audience. No, it's cum gutters. And then the audience is less likely to be like, ooh, glee. So something to think about. What was this? So these are the more controversial opinions from this theoretical person that I've brought out. Doing a set that's just of these on every single show you do. You may be like, well, some comedians do it. Yeah, but that's like saying take all your money and bet it on one spin of the roulette wheel. Some people win that bet. 1 out of 32 or whatever will win that bet, and they'll win big. Oh my God. But does that mean it's smart for me to say that to the average person? Does that mean for the average show it's the highest expected value play? It's not. It just isn't. So people are treating every show like they're going to win the lottery, and then they get banned from clubs, and then they get audience that complain about them. They get bookers that don't trust them anymore. Personal story time. About 7 years ago, I was streaming for the Airtime app. So I was doing basically this show for the Airtime app, and all the comedians I came to workshop material with me, I think everyone got paid like $150 a show to workshop material in front of like 1,000 basically 13-year-olds that were watching together on an app where you could talk to friends and watch material together. They had their own programming. Okay. Well, one of the comedians that I hired at the end of the show for 13-year-olds, I was like, hey, do you have anything to say as you sign off? And he goes, I'd just like to remind everyone that there's more technical slaves today than there ever has been. And you only have freedoms because people died for it. So give fucking thanks for the troops. It's like, oh, okay, if that's a message he wants to deliver, sure. I've never heard him say that on any of his comedy shows and comedy clubs. Never heard him say that in podcasts and other things. But he chose this opportunity for 13-year-olds to do that. Okay, look. If it is your biggest moment and it's your biggest stage and you need to make that statement, hey, make it. But there's going to be a cost, right? The producers of the show and the CEO of the app, because it was a startup app, were watching. They blacklisted him. I can no longer put him on the show. And I, as the producer, also got a big talking to about that as well. So when it came to future projects, guess who is not the first one that I call? Is be like, if he got hired to write for Bluey comedy jokes, would he put that in there, or would he sub-select things that are true to him that he wouldn't feel like he's giving up his soul for? Well, maybe lean out the things that don't fit the brand of what the entity is. It's just like, being a little bit smarter. Because look. At the end of the day, we all got a little bit of this in us. We do. We all got opinions that people that don't agree. Look, when it comes to food, oh my God, I have so many weird food opinions. Don't even get me started. Ooh. But you have to make sure you balance this, because we also have a little bit of this, a lot of this. A lot of our opinions, hey, music is cool, are kind of universally accepted. And because we get to choose of the infinite possibilities what to talk about, we can just as easily put comedy math over things that won't be as disparate to the average audience member. And so we're trying to be professional, until we get to a certain stage. It's just something to think about, because it's one of the most common ways I see people completely fudge entire shows when they're earlier on in their trajectory. And it's a habit because open mics really reward this type of material. It's an easy trap to fall into, because like, oh, these jokes are working when I practice in my open mics. Then I go to a real show and I bomb. Is it the audience that's wrong? It's all these dynamics that are at play. So it's something to think about. If you're still watching on YouTube after the fact, give us a like, comment, and subscribe. More videos should be showing up of other tips and tricks, me analyzing stand-up, all the things you might need to get into stand-up comedy. I appreciate y'all. Tell your friends, and hey, join us on stream with our wonderful community that I'm turning the chat back on for. And if you want to comment under this YouTube video, hey, you can do the prompt of the day, which is joke prompt of the day, prompt of the day. I'm like a bird, ... And I will read some of y'all's right after this. Okay, one second.